On the Newshour debate tonight from the Pakistani side, I have with us Col Shafqat Saeed, and the hashtag is India Map Debate. Actually, we should be talking about the Pakistani map because it's an illegitimate map, it's an irrational map, it's a map which effectively ceases to exist because Balochistan is not and can never be a part of Pakistan, just as Sindh also is rebelling, but they talk about our map. Colonel Shafqat Saeed is joining us from Islamabad, Air Vice Marshall Abid Rao from Karachi, Fawad Choudhry from Lahore, Maroof Raza with me tonight in our studios in Mumbai. Good to see you, Maroof. Rashneek Kher of Roots in Kashmir, GD Bakshi of the Indian Military Review, and Sheshadri Chari, National Executive Member and Convenor of the Foreign Affairs Cell of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Thanks very much. Maroof, why do you think the Pakistanis are spooked? Do they have nothing else to do that they have problems with our map?
Well, Arnab, there are several issues. The first is that for Pakistan, the record has been stuck in 1947. They haven't been able to move further ahead. In fact, the latest researched document that's published in Hussain Haqqani's book says very clearly that in 1959, Ayub Khan had given it in writing to say that as far as the plebiscite is concerned, it is too much water under the bridge, it's not going to happen. Then as late as the 90s, Secretary General of the UN, Kofi Annan, went again on record to say that the plebiscite issue of Kashmir is something that Pakistan can keep harping on, but the UN doesn't see it happening. Now, most importantly, I think we need to understand that every time you put Pakistan on the dock, as far as terrorism is concerned, Pakistan deflects attention by trying to internationalize the Kashmir issue and therefore tries to raise the ante at various forums to try and say that settle the Kashmir issue. What Pakistan must get real about is that the international community doesn't have any patience for this repeated claim by Pakistan, particularly in the light of the fact that the Kashmir issue is as settled as far as India is concerned.
They've got their own standard theory about, Kashmir being a disputed territory, which
Pakistan
it's not.
has not been able to offer its people any other narrative except Kashmir hamara hai and we will take it away from India. But I don't think, I'm being real, whether they can ever militarily or otherwise get Kashmir to accede from India.
Okay.
That is the reality
opening the debate on the Pakistani side, and I just want to reiterate what Maroof said to Shafqat Saeed, that internationalizing the Kashmir issue is a preferred means by Pakistan to detract attention from its own failures to address squarely India's concerns about terrorism that they sponsor. But my question to Shafqat Saeed is this. See, you are not a nation. You are not a legitimate nation. Everyone knows that, which is why you're breaking apart. But why would you want to admit to the entire world, Colonel Shafqat Saeed, that you are not a nation? Because if you call Kashmir disputed territory, you must know Kashmir acceded to India in 1948 through the instrument of accession. That is the document which was promulgated because of the division of India into India and Pakistan. So if you are labeling Kashmir a disputed territory despite its rightful accession to India, what happens to the two-nation theory? The two-nation theory collapses, doesn't it, Maroof? If they are questioning the instrument of accession, they essentially admit to the whole world that we are not a nation.
Well, Kashmir,
why would they admit that, Maroof?
Kashmir acceded to India on 26th October 1947 when the Maharaja of Kashmir signed the instrument of accession under the same arrangements of partition that created Pakistan. And my question to my Pakistani friends and guests is that if you question the accession of Kashmir to India, which you will continue to do, I know, because you are short of any other narrative, but if you question it, you question your very existence as a state, because you came about out because of the arrangement of partition which led to the creation of Pakistan. So one is that. The second is you talk of UN resolutions, but then have you honored the UN resolution yourself? Because you have given the Shaksgam Valley to the Chinese and made Chinese enjoy a territorial foothold in the Kashmir issue when you yourself claim it is disputed. So how are you bartering away disputed territory to a third party? And now that the Chinese have put the entire Karakoram highway through POK and Gilgit-Baltistan, you're almost a client state of the Chinese. Now, would you like to be seen as that and raise the international diatribe against India purely to say that India is not honoring the UN resolution? What have you done about the UN resolution? You have got a third party.
Do you have an answer, Shafqat Saeed? Because if Kashmir is disputed territory, is Pakistan a nation? If Kashmir is disputed territory, why would you give away a significant chunk of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to China? And by the way, if Bangladesh is an independent nation today, and don't mind my saying it to you, 1 minute.
Arnab,
No, Shafqat Saeed, one more line.
You are very short of your son to listen to me.
One more line to you, sir.
Listen to me.
Okay.
How dare you say that you are not a nation? What makes you say that we are not a nation?
You are not a nation.
You are a Muslim nation.
You are not a nation. I'll tell you why I'm saying it. Be rational tonight. Don't lose your temper on the program. Don't lose your temper on the program.
You don't have a language. You don't have a religion. You don't have ethnic grounds to be a nation. What grounds do you have to be a nation? And you have a parliament of criminals.
You have created an artificial language. All your Punjabis speak Urdu with a Punjabi accent. Urdu was an Indian language. You picked it up and called it your national language. और आप लोग लड़खड़ाते हैं उर्दू बोलते हुए. अगर उर्दू बोलना है तो उर्दू बोलिए जिस तरीके से बोलना चाहता है. So don't tell us. You don't tell us about a language. Don't tell us about ethnicity. There is an India that runs from Kashmir to Kerala. There is an India that runs from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. But there is no Pakistan that binds itself together except for anti-Indianism. And anti-Indianism is the best binding adhesive. Is that the adhesive that you want? Is that your rallying point as a nation?
No, Maroof, the point is that it is entirely...
We talk sense.
Colonel Shafqat, just one. Maroof, 1 minute. Maroof, 1 second. You see, Colonel...
No, what? You have no guts to listen to arguments. Why you say you are not a nation? We stood out to you for these.
You are not a nation. Sir, you are not a nation. Sir, I'll tell you why.
You are not able to do anything to Pakistan.
Sir, I'll tell you why.
Thank God that Pakistan is not militarily homogenic. If you go into hegemony, you will be surprised, you will suffer. We want to live in peace. That is your good luck.
Yeah, you want to live in peace because you sponsor terrorism, because you see that as an instrument of peace.
This is your good luck.
Can you give me a counter-argument to that?
Terrorism.
What peace are you talking about when you have been sponsoring terrorism for a quarter century and the world regards you as an epicenter of terrorism? Is that your dialogue of peace?
I think our guests have got provoked by the simple assertion. I'm sorry, Shafqat Saeed, you can't just get angry because I said Pakistan is not a nation. I have a right to say so.
You don't know how to talk.
Sir, I have a right to say so. You may not agree with me.
I pity your way of
Sir, listen to me. Can I request you?
I expect that you will talk like a gentleman to me.
Shafqat Saeed, you did not speak like gentlemen at the United Nations, and please hear me here. It is entirely...
No, you don't know how to talk.
Sir,
how dare you say that you are not a nation? Why did you use wrong words for me? I
have not used wrong words.
Please mind your language.
I am trying to put an ideological construct before you.
See your programs from the start.
I am trying to put
You don't know how to start the program.
Shafqat Saeed, I am putting an ideological construct before you. You will have to be patient and listen to me.
I have never used such words for India.
Shafqat Saeed, I think you're getting unnecessarily upset. I said absolutely nothing. And let me explain to you.
I got upset because you're talking nonsense.
Shafqat Saeed, if you only listen to me, you will understand why I'm not speaking nonsense. You see, please understand this. If Bangladesh is an independent nation today, which it is...
You're talking this tone to me.
अरे भाई Shafqat Saeed जी, आप सुन लीजिए, आपको इतनी गुस्सा दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं, आप सुनिए ना मेरी बात logically. Bangladesh is an independent nation today. So Bangladesh is an independent nation. So by follow-up, is Pakistan
terrorism?
Since Bangladesh is an independent nation today, even Fawad will agree with me, by that definition, Pakistan is a half nation. Pakistan is a half nation. You have no moral right to govern Baluchistan, which is a fact. What will be left of what is already a half nation? You are a half nation by your own definition since the Bangladeshis walked away. So listen. So I'm saying to you, why are you embarrassing yourself at the United Nations? Why are you embarrassing yourself at the United Nations? The whole world is laughing at you. I want Fawad Choudhry to come into the debate. And listen, Fawad Choudhry, there's no point getting angry here today, because I would tell you it is entirely India's business to ensure there are laws in place that ensure that the status of Kashmir or any other state that is an integral part of India is not depicted wrongly on our map. You have no business telling us how to depict our own map. It is entirely in the domain of the Indian Parliament, which is a representative body. Since you don't know anything about democracy, since you are always a quasi-dictatorship, since you've never experienced how it is to live life beyond the clutches of your half-literate military dictators, please understand there is something called Parliament. There is something called the lower body of the House, which is an elected body that debates and passes laws that involve the protection of the sovereignty and integrity of our country, not yours. That is how a democracy functions, Fawad Choudhry. Now you can say we don't know how democracy functions. We'll sympathize with you. No, we'll sympathize with you. But you can't go crying to the United Nations. Yes, please.
All of your questions. Now, will you allow me to speak?
No, these are my assertions. My questions haven't started yet.
Primarily, the way you have raised all these questions, basically what are you doing? You are basically insulting the fathers of India. It's the Kashmir is a disputed country. Who declared that? Jawaharlal Nehru declared that. The whole Indian leadership declared that. Until it's not only about the UN nations, even the Shimla Accord.
Stop crying about Kashmir all the time.
Pakistan, that declared this.
Stop crying about Kashmir.
That Kashmir is a disputed country. And now, for you people, for the people
it's not
sitting
a country,
here in this program, Kashmir is about territory. For people sitting in Pakistan, Kashmir is about the blood of the people. It's about the flesh of the people. It's about the people living in Kashmir. For you guys, it's a territory. I can understand. You are not sensitive.
One second. You have ripped the flesh. You have ripped the flesh. You have ripped the flesh and spilled the blood of the Baluchis. You have ripped the flesh and spilled the blood of the Baluchis, Fawad Choudhry. So,
this is a problem.
So you must get your facts right.
And you who are giving, I mean, no monkey can declare Pakistan a nation or not. It's like international law, and we all know who we are, and we all know who you are. So you have no business with that. But for Kashmir is a humanitarian issue, and Pakistan stands with the people of Kashmir. People of Kashmir do not stand with India. People of Kashmir stand with Pakistan, and today
I'll have a Kashmiri response.
It is not about the people of Kashmir also. The whole Indian population is basically
Arnab, allow me to surround you all.
No, watch it. We will get at this point of time Rashneek Kher to respond.
Arnab, allow me to speak. I'm the only Kashmiri on the panel.
All right. Rashneek Kher, please. Rashneek Kher and then GD Bakshi. Yeah, Rashneek Kher.
No, India has absolutely no right
Rashneek Kher, please. We will explain some facts to you tonight this Tuesday evening.
People of Kashmir hate you guys.
Fawad bhai,
relax.
We
are not. No, listen, Fawad. No, watch it, Rashneek. Before we start, we are a nation. No, Fawad, listen.
Yeah.
What are you? You are real estate agents. You sell land to the highest bidder. You are real estate agents, or worse than that. You are commission agents in the name of a nation. Now, please listen to Rashneek Kher.
You are just a bunch of 4 people who are here to decide who is who. I mean, who are you guys?
Have you guys
are a bunch of terrorist supporters?
चुप हो जाइए मेरी बात सुन लीजिए.
You are extremists.
फवाद
you are just
ठंडा पानी पी लीजिए और बात सुन लीजिए. 2 मिनट.
I will puncture
Shafqat Saeed's
you guys are just
argument
a
by
bunch
saying
of 4 extremists.
He said we are a Muslim nation. If you were a Muslim nation, you would not have been divided into 2 parts in 1971 because the Muslim identity alone did not.
agenda.
फवाद भाई आप अगर चुप नहीं होंगे तो मैं बदतमीजी से आपसे बोलूंगा. फवाद भाई चुप हो जाइए प्लीज. अर्नब कैन यू म्यूट हिम सो दैट ही डजंट स्पीक इनटू माय ईयर. फवाद भाई आप सुन लीजिए 2 मिनट. आई डिड नॉट स्पीक व्हेन यू वर टॉकिंग. हैव सम मैनर्स.
You don't have any manners, I think.
Fawad bhai, because you are not behaving. You don't know how to behave.
Now an old man.
Please keep quiet and allow me to speak, Fawad. I am being nice to you. Please allow me to speak.
हर इज्जतदार लोगों के लिए मरने की
I will put some facts in front of you, Fawad bhai. And Shafqat, सुन लीजिए. मैं कश्मीरी हूँ. मैं आपको बताता हूँ कौन किसके साथ है और कौन किसके साथ नहीं है. आप लोगों को कश्मीर का कीप भी मालूम नहीं है. कॉफ से लिखते हैं कि कीप से ये भी पता नहीं होगा आपको. पर चलिए.
पता चल जाए कौन किसके साथ है. Why you are not holding?
Let me tell you this. Fawad, आ रहा हूँ मैं. I'm coming to the plebiscite point. Wait a second, please.
You are a usurper there.
अरे सर आप चुप ही नहीं.
Indian government is a
No, Fawad, 1 minute. Fawad, first of all, listen. He listened to you, you listened to him. Let's set the terms of the debate tonight. No, he listened to you, you listened to him. Point number two, you want the UN to intervene. The UN Charter. 1 second, Fawad, the UN Charter itself states that it will not prescribe UN intervention in matters which are completely in the domestic jurisdiction of another state. And India's right to pass laws is India's own. So your case with the UN falls flat from the outset.
Speak now and ask him to keep quiet.
Now Fawad, don't echo. Listen to the other side. Listen to the other side.
Please ask him to shut up so that I can speak.
Go on.
You see, there are 2 important documents which we must refer to when we are talking about Kashmir. The most important document is the instrument of accession, which the Maharaja, along with the popular leader at that time, Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah, signed. And this declares this. अरे यार 1 मिनट फवाद यार चुप तो हो जाओ यार. बिल्कुल तमीज नहीं है यार आपको. बदतमीज हो यार आप. सुन लीजिए. And the second point is that Security Council resolutions on J&K are under the Chapter 6, which make them only advisory, and unlike Chapter 7, which are binding. Now, for plebiscite to happen, Pakistan has to do this, which it has not done, it will never do, which is one, withdraw its troops from Gilgit-Baltistan, take back Aksai Chin from China, and withdraw all non-Kashmiris from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan.
Independent elections, what to talk about plebiscite?
Fawad, please, for God's sake, Fawad, I don't want to insult you. I don't want to insult you, but you are behaving like an idiot. Fawad, I don't want to insult you, but you are behaving like a complete idiot.
There will be a plebiscite.
You are behaving like an idiot. Let me tell you, in 2010, the UN that you have gone to crime today have removed Jammu and Kashmir from the list of disputes in UN. If you don't know this and your bureaucrats and foreign officers don't know this, it just reflects how little do your own bureaucrats and your foreign service personnel know. It is no longer on the list of disputes in the UN. So please don't go crying for something that is not even mentioned by the UN as a dispute.
My question is tonight. My question is tonight.
Know what you are
One second. Fawad, now I have heard both of you gentlemen for some time, and it's time for me to intervene in the debate. Fawad Choudhry and Rashneek Kher.
I will give you a very good news. We have not included Balochistan as a part of this list.
I am astonished tonight with the level of diplomatic illiteracy being shown on the program tonight.
Kashmir.
Just 1 minute, Fawad, and I'd like to get Vice Marshal Abid Rao and Sheshadri Chari into the debate, if I may, please. Vice Marshal Abid Rao and Sheshadri Chari. I am astonished at the level of which there is so much diplomatic illiteracy, and I'm moderating my words tonight being reflected on the program. First of all, Abid Rao, listen. You have an India obsession, your problem. You have a Kashmir obsession, your problem. Right? You have an obsession with everything that is right, and you have an obsession with blasphemy laws, your problem. The fact of the matter is, you must be aware of what you're doing. Tell all the people of India tonight, Abid Rao, why is Pakistan making itself such a global laughing stock? I mean, everyone's laughing at you. You are rushing to the UN while being willfully blind. And here's my fact, that the 1981, allow me to complete, sir, General Assembly of the UN, quote, Declaration on the Inadmissibility of Intervention and Interference in the Internal Affairs of States says, and I quote, no state has the right to intervene directly or indirectly for any reason whatsoever in the internal and external affairs of any other state. You have no case. You have no case. Close your case. You have no case, you have no argument, you only have hate. You have no logical case, you only have an India obsession. I mean, we feel sorry for you, but you must find other ways to keep yourself busy. You understand, Vice Marshal Abid Rao, the whole world is laughing at you tonight. Why did you allow yourself to be, brought to this pass? You have no locus in this case. Can you prove to me, or Sheshadri Chari, that you have a locus in this case? I'll concede if you can. Prove to me, factually, what locus do you have in this case?
Okay, I am really surprised at the frustration that I see in Indian media, particularly your channel, on projecting something that your government should be doing. Your Prime Minister should come up and declare to our government that Kashmir is not a disputed territory.
It's beneath our Prime Minister to engage at that level.
Pakistan is not a nation.
Beneath our Prime Minister to engage at that level.
You listen to me. Beneath our Prime Minister to engage at that level. It is a typical fish market that you want to make when Pakistani guests are speaking. You don't let us speak. Listen to the truth.
You can counter me factually if you can.
1947, read Jaswant Singh's book. He will tell you under what pressure was instrument of accession signed by Hari Singh, and thanks to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and Nehru, who forced him in that. It was not his willingness to do that. Read your own authors. He's been a foreign minister. I respect his opinion. Read his last book, which he talks of Indians' security at risk. Second thing is, you went to UN. You settled all those princely states by force. You made a tradition that anybody, Junagadh, Hyderabad, so many other princely states, you took them over by force. Pakistan has tried by force. It has not worked, but it is not an end. You say nobody in the world acknowledges Kashmir as a dispute. America does that. He calls it Kashmir is a nuclear flashpoint.
No,
you should understand the severity of this.
No, absolutely not. Don't misrepresent facts. Don't misrepresent facts. We have a counter from Maroof. Don't misrepresent facts on the American position. Don't misrepresent.
The whole world calls it a disputed territory. It's a question of time. Pakistan has tried everything.
Air Marshal sir, with respect.
Manmohan Singh was your last Prime Minister.
Air
He
Marshal
agreed
sir,
to disputed
you can keep
territory.
trying what you want.
Vajpayee ji agreed
Air Marshal
to that.
sir,
Narasimha Rao agreed. Which Prime Minister of yours has not agreed? Please let me finish this. You have that, audacity to say Pakistan is not a state. We have a national language. India does not have a national language. We have a religion. You don't have a religion. From all definitions, we are a proper country, which India is not. India was united by the British for the first time in your 5,000 years history. What are you talking?
At that time?
You don't divert the debate. Stay specific.
Air Marshal, let me put some of
your media shouting like this. It does not make a peaceful place.
Air Marshal
don't point finger. Wherever you have used the word
अगर आप दूसरे को बोलने देंगे तो we can give a counter.
Okay.
आप उसको change करके पाकिस्तान लगा दे. Pakistan, it will apply to you also.
Air Marshal Saab, okay, I've heard you out. Let me quickly counter 3 or 4 points.
Should we get Maroof Raza? Maroof, should we get Sheshadri Chari?
No, 1 second. Let me just counter Air Marshal's 2 assertions.
No, I think they've got spooked by the fact that I said that Pakistan is not.
Pakistan keeps saying that America recognizes Kashmir as a dispute. Please go into the Clinton diaries, which were written when Nawaz Sharif went to him trembling on 4th of July 1999 when Kargil happened. What did Clinton say there? He said very clearly, and this is written by Clinton's own biographer, Mr. Brunch. He said very clearly, as far as we are concerned, Kashmir is settled. It is with India. Now you withdraw from the LOC, and you are the one, Air Marshal, should I remind you and jog your memory, when you went on record to say that what Musharraf has done in Kargil, that would lead to either a court-martial or martial law. You were the one, so you are familiar with the history of Kargil and what happened.
Maroof, let's get Sheshadri Chari to respond very quickly.
When Air Marshal is bringing up this
Kargil should have happened in 1984.
Just a minute.
When Indian forces moved to Siachen.
You want
Pakistan
to
should have done that.
blow-by-blow debate on history. I will give you a blow-by-blow account. I have great respect for you, sir, but I will intervene. Let me again respond to a point which was brought out by Mr. Fawad Choudhry about the fact that Pakistanis are looking at Kashmir from a humanitarian standpoint. If you are, why have you allowed the demographic displacement of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan? Isn't that a humanitarian deed that you should have taken?
Maroof,
why have you allowed the Baluchis to be subjected to humanitarian abuse?
If I can take that argument forward, Fawad Choudhry, one second, Fawad Choudhry, before you respond.
Humanitarian argument. Don't give me that.
Fawad Choudhry, before you respond.
What have you done in Bangladesh? Ask any Bangladeshi and he'll tell you the genocide that you did out there is a lasting blot in their memory. So please don't tell me about humanitarianism. Come up with a bigger argument. I'll give you an argument, Fawad Choudhry. I'll give you an argument for Kashmir. Maybe the world will accept it. Say that you are insecure about Kashmir because your waters and the rivers that you desperately crave for all run through Kashmir. Water is your obsession about Kashmir. The humanitarian agreement that you try and talk about is an eyewash. There is no humanitarian. If you were concerned about humanitarianism, you would not sponsor cross-border terrorism, which has led to thousands of deaths out there. So don't give me the humanitarian argument. Give me a better argument. I'll probably buy it.
And by the way, as I get Sheshadri Chari to respond at this point of time in the debate, and don't get provoked. All I said, what did I say? I said you're not a nation. Okay, if you insist you're a nation, you're some kind of a half nation. Right? Now don't mind it. Now I can also say, I'll give you another logical reason. I won't.
No matter we are half or quarter.
Abid Rao, I will not argue like you.
Make your stature bigger
Abid
than
Rao,
what you are.
You're a senior man. I will not argue with you at a personal level, even though you are trying to get me into a personal argument with you. I'm not going to argue because out of respect for the fact that you're a senior person. But the fact of the matter is, Abid Rao, please respect the position and the logic that I present before you. And for God's sake, don't argue from such a parochial position. You are Baluchistan.
Sir, you're not talking about logic.
Sir, I'm talking about logic because arguments on Newshour are driven by logic, not by hate. And I'm saying to you tonight, And to the people of Pakistan, through you tonight, you have Baluchistan, it shouldn't be with you. You have Pakistan occupied Kashmir, which was never yours in the first place.
That is your dream.
Shafqat Saeed. You have Gilgit
Forget about Balochistan. You have sent Kulbhushan Yadav and 400 of his accomplices.
You have Gilgit-Baltistan, which is not yours. Pakistan is nothing but a construct. Pakistan is a construct of occupied territories.
You haven't had the decency to apologize.
Pakistan is a construct of occupied territories as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to Sheshadri Chari now, please. Sheshadri Chari.
Raw's involvement will not do any harm anymore.
Please.
All those people are under spotlight.
I think, Arnab, I think there must be a better way of conducting this debate. So I'm not going into all the details and other things that some of the Pakistani guests have said, but let me come straight to the point. Number one, let me quote. In March 2001, the then Secretary General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan, visited India and Pakistan, and this is very widely reported in Indian newspapers and also Pakistani newspapers. And what I am saying now, I have got from the Tribune of Pakistan. And he said that Kashmir resolutions are only advisory recommendations, and comparing with those on East Timor and Iraq was like comparing apples and oranges, since those resolutions were passed under Chapter 7, which make it enforceable by UNSC, which means the Kashmir resolution, which the Pakistanis are again and again talking, has been totally debunked by none other than the Secretary General, Mr. Kofi Annan, in 2001. Okay. Similarly, in 2010, November 2010, the United Nations removed Jammu and Kashmir from the total list of all those areas which are supposed to be disputed. In the first place, the resolution 47 does not use the word disputed at all. I have got the copy of the resolution with me, which specifically says that this has to be settled on the basis of the two nations should come together and discuss it. And also they have set up a commission. Now what happened was, one of the country which was part of the commission, Czechoslovakia, doesn't exist at all. So when United Nations was approached, they specifically said that it is not our job to put up another commission. What has happened is over. So please go and resolve that issue between yourselves. So United Nations has washed their hands off. Number 2. Number 3, in 2010, Pakistan came to know much later about the exclusion of Kashmir from the list of such nations. They objected to this and they wrote to United Nations Security Council in 2010. This is 2016. Till now, United Nations does not care to even reply to Islamabad
because it's
about
an irrelevant
this. That
issue.
shows their attitude. 2, 3.
Yeah.
And actually what is illegal, Pakistan is saying that this Indian bill, a draft bill, is illegal. But what is illegal is the sham government that Islamabad has foisted on the Indian territory called Pakistan occupied Kashmir.
Well said. That's the moot point.
Occupied India, and it is they have illegally foisted a government there, a sham government, which incidentally does not recognize the authority of Islamabad also. That is the tragedy.
Fawad, you can respond.
Okay. Now let me point out one more thing. Another illegal 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 thing. Mr. Pawar, please behave.
If you
I am
have
a
to
serious
mute the
debater.
voice and
I am a
give us
serious
sermons
debater.
like
Please
this,
behave.
then please don't
Another
call us.
illegal thing that Pakistan, Islamabad has done is
there is nothing illegal.
illegally ceding Indian territory to China. Indian territory has been illegally ceded to China. That is another illegal thing that you have done.
The history of Genghis Khan in Kashmir.
Besides that,
you have no shame.
Besides that,
giving us sermons
what
on
you have done is
illegalities. Have you
Islamabad
have some shame?
has illegally signed. Islamabad has illegally signed contract with China to develop infrastructure in Indian territory.
Fawad, let him speak. Fawad, let him speak. Fawad, this is not right. He heard you. He heard you. Are you spooked by his argument? Why don't you let him complete his point? Why don't you let Sheshadri Chari speak? He speaks with a sense of history and authority, and you need to understand the facts that he's presenting before you. You can't just go around saying, I think you are wrong. Fawad, Mr. Fawad.
Will you recognize the rights of the people of Kashmir, or
Mr. Fawad?
Just this one. Just tell me this one.
Mr. Fawad, I'll now present you with a series of facts because you're heckling.
If you do not mute Mr. Pawar,
Fawad, 1 second. Let him complete.
Right now.
Let him complete his point, Fawad, and then come in. 1 second. Fawad, please. Fawad, please. You come in after he completes. Sheshadri Chari, please wait. Fawad, you will let him complete because he listened to your point. 1 second, Fawad. Fawad, you will let him complete his point and then you can come in. I request you. He heard you completely while you were speaking. Sheshadri Chari did not say a word while you were speaking. He did not interrupt you. He waited for his turn. He said that I will let the others speak and then I will make his point. Tonight, I think you are spooked by. I think Sheshadri Chari has spooked you. I think Sheshadri Chari has spooked you. Sheshadri Chari, 1 second. Fawad, listen. Let him complete his point. Fawad, if it's a straight debate, you had your say.
But he has no points, Baba.
Let him come. How do you know he's got no points? You listen to him, Baba. Why are you spooked?
Mr. Pawar,
Mr. Chari, please complete your point.
I am not.
Okay, Fawad, now let's get Shafqat Saeed on the other side.
I am not responding to a person like you at all. And the last illegal thing that Islamabad has done is sign a contract with China to construct infrastructure project. Therefore, it is not just Islamabad, but it is also Beijing, which is indulging in illegal activity in Indian territory, and it is India's right to depict the map of India as it is in reality. Therefore, I think the best advice for Pakistan would be to just keep quiet. Very soon, Pakistan's map is going to be totally altered.
Well read, well said.
Therefore, please be prepared for that.
By the grace of God.
India would be losing territory and Pakistan would get it.
All right. GD Bakshi into the debate right now, and I just want to make one point here to the Pakistani friends. No intention to insult them, but the United Nations laughed at you in October 2014 when Ban Ki-moon said, go sort out your problems with India. The United States, GD Bakshi coming in next to the debate, sorry to come to you late, sir. United States sent you packing November 20th, 2015. United Kingdom told you, please don't come to us crying, March 8, 2016. Yes. European Union told you, get lost, May 13th, 2011. Germany told you, don't you have anything else to do, July 2nd, 2013. France said, please don't irritate us, July 26, 2013. But look at the shamelessness of the Pakistanis. Why don't
you go to United Nations?
Look at the shamelessness of the Pakistanis.
Resolution.
Fawad, these are the facts.
The whole world is in support of India. You should go to United Nations and call for the recall of that resolution.
Everybody is sending you back.
Why don't you go if you have such a huge, humongous support?
All right, GD Bakshi.
Why don't you go and reverse that?
I argued from the point of view of precedent. I told you have an old habit, but nobody in the world takes your old habit seriously.
You have no trust on Kashmir. You have no trust on United Nations. You have no trust on any other body of the world. Who should we trust?
I think
GD Bakshi in the debate. GD Bakshi, please. Fawad, please
has a right to speak.
GD Bakshi and Shafqat Saeed. Yeah.
But my point is that GD...
You know, Arnab, I would like to state that the fact of the matter is that Pakistan as a nation suffers from obsessive, compulsive behavior. It has been evident from 47, 48 onwards. They have tried 4 times to take Kashmir by force. They failed. Then they have tried asymmetric war to take Kashmir by force. They have failed. Now they are trying to take the case again to the United Nations in the forlorn hope that they could get it now. Let me assure you, you may end up losing more territory. You state that Kashmir is disputed territory. How then have you permitted China to create a road, tunnels, and bridges through Gilgit-Baltistan? If it is disputed territory, how have you permitted China to construct roads in that territory? That is by your definition. We think Kashmir is disputed territory only and only as far as Pakistan occupied Kashmir is concerned. Only Pakistan occupied Kashmir is the only part in dispute. And let me tell you,
I agree with you that Kashmir
let me tell you, my friend,
it needs a resolution.
You want Jammu and Kashmir?
From the people
Come and
of Kashmir.
get it.
We just want.
Let's see you get it.
Of Kashmir should
You
decide
can forget about it. अरे साहब सुन लीजिए,
Let people
एक मिनट सुन लीजिए, आपके लगातार चिल्लाने से कश्मीर आपको मिल नहीं जाएगा, आपके लगातार चीखने से आपको कश्मीर नहीं मिलने वाला, आपको लेना है, आप आके लेके दिखा दीजिए.
आप कश्मीर के मामू ना बने. Let people of
Kashmir
decide
and get it. That is what we are telling you. You have the dam, come and get Kashmir.
You will come and get it.
That's it. It's as simple as that. You are protesting that we are changing maps. You say it is disputed territory. Why are you altering status on the ground? By involving China. How can you involve China in a territory that belongs to us? And you yourself say it is disputed. You have said it is disputed. How can you allow a third country to come in? Who has resolved that dispute, if you call it a dispute? The only territory under dispute is the OK.
General Saab, Ghansara Singh, Brigadier Ghansara Singh had surrendered Gilgit-Baltistan in 1947. And once that Maharaja signed that instrument of accession, at that time Gilgit-Baltistan was not part of Kashmir. And now the disputed territory is only Kashmir. Please refresh your memory.
I think you got your...
Don't play with the words.
I think you got your...
Maharaja. No,
watch out. Maroof is responding. Maroof is responding on the issue of Gilgit-Baltistan. I think Shafqat Saeed, sorry. I think you just lost the debate. No, Shafqat Saeed, I think you just lost the debate. I think you are factually incorrect. You have lost the debate. Please, and Maroof is going to explain things to you. Go on.
Kal Sahab, let me just... Kal Sahab, with respect, sir. Kal Sahab, meri baat sun lijiye.
I wish you had some logic.
Sir, I'll give you logic, sir.
One second. Sir, Maroof, one second. He says to me tonight, I think tonight Colonel Shafqat Saeed says to me tonight, why don't you argue and anchor your program with some logic? Then I present logic to you, and now it's time for you to be quiet and me to say it. Instead of challenging India's parliamentary sovereignty in the UN, why don't you act on the UN ban on Hafiz Saeed? Why don't you act on the UN ban on the Lashkar-e-Toiba and the Jamaat-ud-Dawa? Why don't you act on the United Nations Security Council ban on the person called Dawood Ibrahim? Why don't you convince China? Why don't you convince China to ban terrorist Maulana Masood Azhar and the Jaish-e-Mohammed? Why don't you abide by the UN Charter's definition of non-interference? That is logic tonight, and you have no answer now. Now listen to Maroof Raza. Maroof, go on.
Kal Sahab, you brought out about Ghansara Singh. Let me rewind you from footnotes in history. Ghansara Singh went on the behalf of the Maharaja before the accession of Kashmir to negotiate the transfer of power of Gilgit-Baltistan into Jammu and Kashmir. Sir, meri baat sun lijiye.
Absolutely.
There was Major Brown. Colonel Sahab, sun lijiye.
I have seen that.
Colonel Sahab, you may have seen it. We have also seen a lot.
He was a special in Gilgit-Baltistan scouts.
Sir, Major Brown of Gilgit-Baltistan scouts tricked Ghansara Singh and his men when they were sleeping. They locked him up in the officers' mess and he hoisted the flag of Pakistan in Gilgit-Baltistan. That is the reality. You want to know that? Go and check your facts of history. But let me also remind the Pakistani guests about three other points. One is, point one, sir. Point one, the Pakistani high-handed behavior in the so-called Azad Kashmir, what we call POK, is very clearly listed out in a deeply researched book of 17 years of stay in Pakistan by an Australian author called Christopher Snedden. It's called The Untold History of Kashmir, where he talks how Islamabad boots around the Ministry of Kashmir Affairs, which in turn treats the so-called Prime Minister of POK as a secondary citizen.
What a shame.
Aap uski kitab padh ke dekhiye, sir. You'll get the reality. The second point is, I'm glad that the Indian government has brought up the Kashmir issue and gone proactive about the map, which should have been happening for the last 60 to 70 years. We have given you the cushion to mend your ways and come real with the UN resolution and beyond. Even the UN resolution, which you cite as an article of faith, is India-centric. पढ़ के देखिए सर, 13th August 1948 and subsequently Colonel Saab, with respect to you, हालांकि UN resolution आपके लिए खुदा का कलाम है, but let me tell you, the UN resolution is India-centric. You cannot, if you want to get onto the route of the UN resolution, you first vacate all the territory that you have illegally occupied, and we will talk of plebiscite.
Well, the UN resolution is also non-mandatory in nature.
From the embarrassment.
What's a
You have been embarrassed internationally.
How? The world calls you the epicenter of terror.
Let's hear his
The world doesn't want to listen to you.
Let's hear his argument.
And you go with a bunch of
Sheshadri Chari back into the
you
debate.
go with a bunch of losers to the UN and say, these are our supporters.
I want 1 second. GD Bakshi.
International thieves.
GD Bakshi.
What? You don't even own your own people.
Can I?
This is the new one. I'll give you the bonus points.
I'll tell you. Sheshadri Chari will come in after GD Bakshi. Please, GD Bakshi.
Embarrassment.
शफकत साहब जरा सुन लीजिए, एक मिनट, मैं जनरल बख्शी बोल रहा हूँ, गुजारिश कर रहा हूँ आपसे, सुन लीजिए।
लीडरशिप आप मुहैया करेंगे।
Colonel Shafqat Saab, let me tell you, Brigadier Ghansara Singh was from my regiment. Brigadier Ghansara Singh was from my regiment. He had gone to take charge in Gilgit-Baltistan because it properly belongs to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. A coup was instigated against him by the Gilgit Scouts, by the British Major Smith, and he had instigated a coup. The coups that the Pakistan army is so fond of doing in its own country. A coup is illegitimate. You got there by an illegitimate coup. And I'm telling you this because Brigadier Ghansara Singh is from my regiment. अरे साहब, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, मेरी पलटन के थे वो. He was overthrown by a military coup led by Colonel Brown of the Gilgit Scouts, a British officer who connived with you to put the Pakistani flag there. All coups. Your army has only worked on coups. You have been overthrowing your own government. You overthrew the legitimate governor of Gilgit-Baltistan.
Sheshadri Chari and Vice Marshall Abid Rao back to the debate. If I may, the problem tonight, viewers, is I began the program by saying that I think Pakistan has lost it diplomatically because Pakistan is questioning the map of India. Now, listen, one second. I want Sheshadri Chari and Abid Rao to come to the debate, but first, couple of just quick points I want to say, Sheshadri Chari, before I hand it over to you and to Abid Rao. My point is, and Abid Rao, don't mind, you must realize, and okay, let's let Abid Rao to speak first and then Sheshadri Chari will respond, but Abid Rao, listen to me tonight. You have no locus to be complaining to anyone about the laws that are being considered or debated in the Indian Parliament because A, you pass the most regressive blasphemy laws in your country. This is the kind of country that you are. Your Human Rights Commission has gone on record on the terrible and abject condition of religious minorities persecuted under your own laws under the blasphemy law. You have no locus to complain about anything, what India wants to pass, what law we want to pass, when you did not pass a law that intended to ban child marriage after religious bodies called the legislation un-Islamic. You allow the oppression of young children in your country. You are barbaric in your implementation of laws. People are crying and want to break away. Hence, please understand in perspective your real position in the Committee of Nations today. And before Sheshadri Chari responds to you, Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao, please go ahead, Air Vice Marshal.
Arnab, there are a lot of issues which are internal to Pakistan.
No, these are not. These are humanitarian issues.
We have no business.
These are humanitarian issues. They're universal issues.
Law related to Kashmir on which Pakistan also has a stand. And Pakistan will always object to that unless that is settled.
A UN resolution
the
is not
question
a
of blasphemy law.
incorrect.
We still have some law. India, you have the religious extremist burning any minority that comes there, doesn't agree to them. So your history is no better than Pakistan. So we should equally be ashamed of any such anti-human laws or practices that we have in Pakistan or India. So don't tell me that our face is dirtier than yours. You are equally into that. And you are a secular state, but your practices are not secular. The Muslims are not secure in most areas. The Christians are not.
I think you're getting
the
confused.
Sikhs have been murdered when there was right. And even the lower caste Hindus have been murdered. Leave alone that side. Now, Pakistan, you see, there is a mismatch between your media's approach and your government's approach. Let Mr. Modi say Kashmir is not a disputed territory. Let your Sushma Swaraj ji say something on that. Why are you fighting it on media? Are you going to convince us, a panel of 3 people, that Kashmir belongs to India? Or we be convinced that it is ours? So that is not the issue.
No, Abid Rao, if you have lost the debate,
one more thing.
if you have lost the debate on fact, you can say so.
To provoke people in Pakistan.
Abid Rao, listen.
Balochistan is not an issue. You have sent Kulbhushan Yadav, he has been apprehended with 400 agents.
Abid Rao, we are talking about the key points of the geospatial bill. I am sorry to have to say this to you. I think you're sounding a little confused about what exactly you're trying to say.
No, I'm not confused.
What am I saying to you?
Abid we have our own set of problems.
Abid Rao, listen. I know about your problem, but Abid Rao, listen to me.
No.
What I'm saying to you is, okay, Sheshadri Chari, go on, Sheshadri Chari, please.
If you, Arnab, I understand if Air Marshal Abid Rao wants an official mention of all these things, let me tell you, the Indian Foreign Minister, not just the present Foreign Minister, the previous Foreign Ministers also, and also the previous Prime Ministers, and not only the previous Prime Ministers and Foreign Ministers, but the Indian Parliament has unanimously passed a resolution.
Yes.
Unanimously passed a resolution, not under a BJP government, but under a Congress government headed by Narasimha Rao, that the entire Kashmir, including the POK, is an integral part of India. If you want a greater assertion than this, I don't think
what was Manmohan Singh then negotiating with Pervez Musharraf?
And besides that, even today, the spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs has categorically stated he represents the government of India, he represents the Ministry of External Affairs, and he is the official spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs, and he has said that the entire Jammu and Kashmir, including the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, is an integral part of India. So this is as far as official assertion is concerned. As far as your earlier assertion that Kashmir is a nuclear flashpoint, please do not sell such cock and bull stories to
argument.
India again. They are not. You can go and sell this story to the Americans and get a few dollars. But as far as these things are concerned, you better be careful. You are not a nuclear country.
Fawad,
you are not a nuclear capable country. And we are not engaged in a nuclear race with Pakistan at all, because we don't have to do anything to destroy Pakistan.
Fawad, you have no response.
On a self-destructive
Fawad, are you looking for facts on the internet?
Therefore, I am not interested in this discussion as far as
because you are not
Pakistan
allowing me to
is
speak,
concerned.
so I am just playing my game.
No, I thought you were looking for facts on the internet because Maroof Raza pummeled your argument.
No, I'm playing Candy Crush, you know. This program is as
well, I think you lost the argument. You can say this. Listen. The fact of the matter is,
I was hearing you when you were saying that you are this and that.
Fawad,
and I was thinking that a Vatican Pope is addressing.
Okay, Fawad, here's a little challenge to you. Listen,
all the minority rights and everything. And I was about to fall from this window. You know, behind me there's a window. I'm about to fall. The way you predicted about India, and you told us that how you are basically in a heaven and we are in a hell. And I was just thinking that how Arnab is so kind of a well-informed man, and he knows so much about Pakistan but nothing about India. What a coincidence.
Mr. Pawar can continue.
I don't know whether to laugh or to cry at what you're saying. Yeah.
Arnab, Mr. Pawar can continue playing his games.
I should laugh.
He can continue to play his games. Let me tell you the next step that Indian government should do, which the Indian government has not done. Officially, Gilgit, Baltistan and the Pakistan occupied Kashmir area
all the minorities are so happy in India.
are officially authorized to be represented in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly.
Even cow eating is allowed.
This is a serious matter, Mr. Pawar. I am telling you. Your next argument, you be prepared for it.
It's very non-serious.
Gilgit, Baltistan and Pakistan occupied Kashmir.
Well,
he should be officially representing their members in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. There are more than 60 seats which have been kept vacant, and we are going to fill up those seats also. We are going to fill up those seats in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly.
I think what's been amazing in the debate so far. I think what's been amazing in the debate so far. I give Rashneek the last word tonight. Look here. Listen, Fawad. You can go on. You can go on playing candy, whatever, because your arguments have been crushed. I want to go to Rashneek Kher. Look at the situation on the Newshour debate tonight. I said right at the start of the Newshour debate tonight that Pakistan is not a nation. I asked the Pakistani guest. I asked the Pakistani guest 1 minute. Fawad, please, don't do this. Fawad, listen 1 second. I asked the Pakistani guest right on top of Newshour tonight. I asked them one question. Prove to me.
Yes.
And prove to the people of India. Yes. Give us one reason that you are a nation. For 50 minutes, the 3 Pakistani guests have not been able to give me one reason why they are a nation. This is incredible. Except the fact that they are driven by hate for India, not one reason. What an identity crisis we have here on television. Rashneek Kher, please. Rashneek Kher. Rashneek Kher and then Shafqat Saeed. Yeah, Rashneek Kher and Shafqat Saeed.
I have only 3 small comments. If Fawad Bhai allows me. Fawad Bhai, खुदा के वास्ते. फवाद भाई खुदा के वास्ते 2 मिनट मुझे बोल लेने दीजिए, मैं चुप हो जाऊंगा उसके बाद.
यार घंटे से आप ही बोल रहे हैं, मेरा तो माइक ही बंद कर देते हैं 8 मिनट बाद.
You see, चिंता नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, फिर चला देंगे आपका माइक. आबिद राव साहब, आपको मैं बता दूं that in your country minorities, especially Hindus, have been brought down from 14% at the time of independence to 1% today, while in our country minorities have grown from 9% to 14%. So please understand this. Also, Fawad Bhai, for your information, since you are arguing endlessly with me, in 1960, Pakistan signed a treaty with India on the Indus. अरे सुन लीजिए फवाद भाई, सुन लीजिए. Fawad Bhai, sun lijiye, your country signed a treaty with our country in 1960, which is called the Indus Water Treaty, which, because the Indus flows from Kashmir, if you are so insistent that Kashmir is not a part of India, why don't you unilaterally pull out of the treaty and not take any water from the Indus? Now the most important question to all my 3 Pakistani guests tonight is, can any one of you keep harping on Kashmir all day, all night? Can you please tell me the word of origin of the word Kashmir? इतना आप बता दीजिए तो मैं आपको आज ही बोल दूंगा कि कश्मीर आपका है.
You sitting here are no gods. For God's sake.
No, I'm not God, but you please tell me what is the origin of the word Kashmir.
Please don't do that.
Fawad, itna bata do and we will say, okay, you have a stake in Kashmir. Please tell me the origin of the word Kashmir. Itna Kashmir ko leke rote ho 24 घंटे, अब बता दो एक बार.
Answer his question. Abid Rao, answer his question.
No, you just tell me what is the origin of the word Kashmir.
Liberation war in Kashmir started in 1931. Read Jaswant Singh's account of that area.
And
sir, you tell me. Sir, I know about. I am a Kashmiri. You are not a Kashmiri. Please don't teach me about history of Kashmir. I know what started where. I know what started when. So please don't teach me. Just tell me what is the origin of the word Kashmir. Kashmir को लेके रोते हो आप 24 घंटे. अब बताओ.
Had to be signed with India.
You guys have no idea. That is why I am telling you. You are shooting in the dark. The Pakistani army is getting bloody nose time and again. आप लोगों को इल्म ही नहीं है कश्मीर के बारे में. 1931 में मत जाइए.
Anyway, as I close the debate, I have one bit of advice, unsolicited, to the Pakistani guests.
In Europe, what they
Please,
want.
Shafqat Saeed.
And then you will realize what they want.
And this is to Shafqat Saeed and Fawad. Listen, Shafqat, you don't have water, you don't have money, you don't have democracy. At least you should have some self-respect. To go crying to the United Nations
we
tomorrow,
have the courage to hold
at least you should have some self-respect
and arrogance.
Add manners to that list.
United Nations is nothing against self-respect.
They throw you on every time. I thank you all.
Every nation who respect international
for joining me on debate number 1.
You are
including to Fawad Choudhry on the Newshour tonight. Thank you, Fawad Choudhry. Till next time. Thank you very much. Thank you.